My name is John Bryanson, and I'm the fastest aging human being on the planet. I've spent millions of dollars on my pro-aging protocol, microplastics from Kenya.
In this episode, we talk about cutting-edge health hacks to look 10 years younger, a new study that is currently testing a drug to regrow human teeth even in adulthood, our guru of the week who's gonna kick your fat butt, healthy alcohol alternatives that make you feel schmoozy without the woozy, and so much more. I'm joined by my friend Kyle Lasota, also known as wellness father figure, who spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on his health to talk about the latest health hacks that we found. So put on your seatbelts, let's get into it. Recently I met up with this guy, his name is Marcus. I kid you not, I thought, oh, he's a fellow guy in my age range, and he's sold a company for tens of millions of dollars, creating like an AR headset for like motorcycles, so when you drive down the road, you can actually see the directions through the helmet.
Sick.
Sold it for tens of millions of dollars. Crazy story that he told me. And at some point I asked him, how old are you? And I thought, late 20s, early 30s, like my age. Guy's 40.
Whoa.
Yes. And I was like, you're kidding, right? And this was not me pretending like, oh, I'm giving you a compliment by being like, oh, I can't believe it. Blah. No, like I genuinely thought he was messing with me. And he's going to be like, no, I'm also like 29. I'm also like 32, whatever.
Yeah.
No, he's like, I'm 40. And I'm like, okay, what did you do? He just looks, if I had to find a word, pristine. I don't even know what that exactly means. So let me just look that up, pristine. Do you ever do that where you just use a word and you just like...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In its original condition. He just looked unspoiled,
Yes.
untouched by the world and time.
Yeah.
There are 4 things that he gave me that really stood out to me. First of all, I don't know if you've ever heard of it. High intensity, focused ultrasound.
No. Okay.
He says that he does the treatment once, and the first session he already looks 3 years younger. Like just doing that once, you look 3 years younger, and then progressively over the next 6 months, you look younger even more. Like it just keeps building because it promotes a lot of collagen, like crazy.
Got it.
The way he described it, I don't know, he described it really well, is, you kind of like, the sound hits the frequencies that hit at a certain point, and it targets a specific layer in the skin, and then it promotes collagen like crazy. So it's almost like it's like a facelift, but non-surgical. It's non-invasive.
Epic.
I'm going to look into that when I, as I get older.
Yeah.
As I get into my mid and late 30s. Who knows? Maybe I should start now. But I haven't looked too much into it, so I'll definitely do more research on it. He said it costs $10,000 in the US.
Okay.
I've seen it for $5,000 online, but he did it in Argentina, $1,000.
Cool.
So, and he does one session every 2 years. That's what he's aiming for.
How did you find out anything about safety or?
I looked up some stuff. I couldn't find anything that's like, oh, careful here.
Cool.
But I would definitely have to do more research on it. And this guy, crazy obsessed with biohacking, health, all that stuff, reading the latest research and whatnot. He also knows how to read research, which is some of the things that I want to get into as well. Some other things that he recommended. But if he does it, he has high believability in my opinion.
Can I toss in one of my things here? Because it's kind of relevant.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
what did you find?
So what I have right here is nitric oxide tablets. A few weeks back, I went about 90 minutes north of Austin, and I drove to this guy's farm. His name is Dr. Nathan Bryan, and he basically invented the technology that allows for nitric oxide to be like utilized exogenously by the body through a supplement. Any nitric oxide product that you see on the market is his patent.
So nitric oxide, what does it do?
So nitric oxide is a gas that naturally occurs in the body, and it is the precursor of a lot of other things. And basically what it does is it stimulates blood flow. This is a very like watered down version, right? So more blood flow to everything. So basically when you have that increased blood flow, you're getting more nutrients to the cells.
It's almost like when you move from outside of the city to inside of the city, and all of a sudden Amazon can deliver the next day.
Yes.
And the products are the nutrients.
Yes. It happens faster, right? Science. So when people start losing the ability to produce nitric oxide endogenously, which means inside, they start getting sick. They start having diseases. They start having symptoms. When you take nitric oxide, some of the things that you'll notice is that you'll have a bump in your cognition, right? More blood flow to your brain, You'll have better sex because more blood flow to, you know, everything. And you're going to have just like more energy, better pumps, like better recovery. It's like kind of like a catch-all type thing. And they call it like the miracle molecule because of how many different things it impacts. So he has these tablets, which we can take right now. It's a lozenger. So you just like put it in your mouth and let it dissolve. Okay, here you go.
Oh.
The reason why I like it is because it's just like one of those things. It's just like, it's kind of like a magnesium. It's kind of like everyone could use a little bit more nitric oxide.
It's an essential mineral, magnesium.
Mm-hmm.
Nitric oxide is something that we endogenously produce.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like you're taking something that's like, oh, what side effects is it going to... I mean, it could, but...
It's very safe.
Mm-hmm.
And I really noticed like, oh, I'm kind of like zoned in. I'm a little locked in. And my mind feels a little bit more clear. And the way that you can increase nitric oxide just normally is through exercise, sunlight, and not using mouthwash. I'm serious.
Can you point out the basics like sleep, exercise, not using mouthwash?
Not using mouthwash, and not eliminating fluoride. The reason why the mouthwash and the fluoride thing is important is because we have this microbiome in our mouth. And when that gets disrupted, that messes with the nitric oxide production. To put it in a very simple way. So when you kill the bacteria using, you know, certain types of toothpaste or certain types of mouthwash, then you can really mess up nitric oxide. I know when I had COVID, taking or doing a certain type of breathing, nose breathing, increases nitric oxide. And that was really, really powerful for me in my recovery. And it's antiviral, it's antibacterial, it's antifungal, it's anti-everything. That
Anti-Semitic? I'm trying to not get this shadow banned.
Yeah. That's not the anti that we want, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dr. Nathan Bryan, he has these supplements, right? You remember Beat Elite? Remember that supplement? You ever taken that before?
Maybe.
Okay, it was very popular. He basically created that. So he started a new company. This is the company, NO2U.
I know nitric oxide came up for my friend who had the brain scanner. We mentioned it in the podcast about the darkness retreat that I did, where we scanned my brain before and after. I did a 7-day darkness retreat, being locked in solitary confinement in darkness for 7 days, basically. The brain scan measures the voltage of the brain. And one of the common things that the doctor prescribes after he sees a brain scan that doesn't look so good is nitric oxide. And so a friend of mine, he would, have beets every day. He'd put it in a smoothie. So yeah, that's where it came up for me before. This is a second point that stood out to me about Marcus, the guy that is 40 but looks like he's 29. I asked him, what's your skincare routine? Do you do stuff? Did you get into it? He says, yes, there's one thing you should do. Tretinoin. Tretinoin. He says it's the only thing that actually reverses wrinkles and that he's found effective, and also looking at research and stuff like that. It's a prescription form of vitamin A, boosts collagen, and with it increases cell turnover, improves growth of new ones, yada, 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 stuff like that. So yeah, he said start slow with that, and then the consistency is key. Just keep doing that. Because I've been looking for some sort of skin thing, right? Because there's so much BS out there. Yeah. And somebody like him just looks at the studies, and I love it when I can talk to someone like him and just be like, okay, just tell me. He just did the research. It's called outsourcing.
Yeah.
I love doing that. I love doing that with you too.
Yes. Always do your own research before you start taking stuff, but that's a great filter where it's like, okay, now I don't have to do 80% of the work.
Yeah. Third thing, we've already heard about it, but long fasting. He did a bunch of long fasts in his late 20s. And even, recently.
I just did a fast.
How long?
Yesterday. I did 36 hours.
Any type of fast is good, I think. And, it doesn't have to be like that long, but he did 28-day fasts.
Whoa.
Sometimes. He even did a 60-day juice fast.
Whoa.
So he's done a lot of biohacking, trying stuff with his body. During that, he still worked out.
Wow.
Because, I was checking this, how much muscle do you lose when you fast?
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why a lot of guys don't want to do fast, because it's so difficult to build muscle, and then you lose all that muscle in like a 28-day fast.
Yeah.
Or a 7-day fast. Now here's the thing. Joseph from our creator group, he's got a channel called What I've Learned, and he actually made a video about this talking about misconceptions about fasting, he referenced that Tim Ferriss lost 12 pounds of muscle during a 7-day fast. He basically had doctors look after him.
Yeah.
But part of it was you can't exercise. You cannot exercise. And he was very sedentary.
Probably because you would like faint. You know, there's a high probability of like passing out.
But he said that when Tim Ferriss did a 10-day fast with plenty of walking, he basically didn't lose any muscle just by walking.
Interesting.
And so when I did fasts, I've done a bunch of fasts too. I would still exercise, but it's just maintenance. You're not trying to break records.
Oh, yeah.
No, you're just like doing half of what you normally do and just a little bit because it's so easy to maintain muscle.
Yeah.
If I only worked out once a week, I could maintain tip-top shape. That's for me, I think. And
You have really good genetics.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Especially when it comes to building muscle.
I really do. I had a debate about that with Imad. Because I'm more the older I get, the more I'm like, you know what? A lot of it is genetics, and a lot of it is just DNA and how we're wired and stuff like that. But he had periods where he had 7% body fat, and he would eat in a deficit where he would eat 1,900 calories a day, and he was just shredded like crazy. But he also said it really messed up his hormones. Yeah. But long fasting, I think it's another one of these undeniable things that fasting is a way for you to clean up a bunch of crap out of your body. Because your body can just like. Yeah, it doesn't have to digest,
goes into repair mode. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Fourth thing that I found fascinating is vegetarian diet. He looked at all the studies. He's very good at reading them. He's a very scientific, like logical guy. He's like a polymath. He just like wants to learn about everything all the time. And he said, if you look at the research, it's basically less animal products is better. So yeah, I mean, Bryan Johnson.
Is he muscular?
He's in good shape.
Yeah.
I don't know. I maintain open about it.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I'm very heavy meat.
Me too.
And animal products. Like I drink a liter of milk every day. Recently, because it's the easiest way to gain muscle. Honestly.
Yeah.
Like I don't get my 3,500 calories in a day. Well, I think actually, how much did I have yesterday? 3,800. Yeah, just drinking milk and oats. So. But, I mean, he says, be aware of how many AGEs you're consuming. AGEs, advanced glycation end products. And supposedly a lot of them are in
animal
meats.
products. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. That's what I learned from him. And so it makes me curious.
Yeah.
Because if I look like him when I'm 40, I'm not stressing about turning 30. I'm like, I have another 10 years of being this fit and looking like that. Great.
Yeah.
So, fascinating guy. He also told me about the FFMI calculator. Have you heard of this before?
No.
So this is supposedly what bodybuilders use. It's more legit than a BMI. Okay. And he says the goal is to get to 25. This is where you are superior.
Okay.
Anything above that makes you suspicious for... steroids and other things. And then other things are just, anything above that, 28, 29, 30 is unlikely. But your goal is basically, if you can get to 25, you basically maxed out your natural potential.
Yeah.
And so you put in your height, in my case, 5'10". Weight, currently it's 177. And then last time I checked with the body fat percentage, when we were at Upgraded Labs, I did that test.
Yeah.
It showed 8.4. Body fat percentage.
That's good.
Which I don't know how accurate that is, so I gave it an extra percentage. Maybe it's 10, but currently I'm at 23.
Okay.
And he says that's pretty good. So on the scale it says excellent. Average is 18. 18, 19, 20. Above average is 20, 21, and then 22, 23 is when you're excellent, 24, 25 is when you're superior. So, because I want to figure out, before I turn 30, as my ability to gain muscle decreases or it gets more difficult, how can I max out now?
Yeah.
So that I just have this baseline of muscle that I can keep coming back to, because it's very easy for me to rebuild muscle once I've built it.
Yep.
Like for me to get back into shape, it's like 3 months of focused exercise. And so for me to get to 25 at, I'd say 11% body fat, it's more realistic. If I get to 192, 193,
194.
190, maybe
195. Yeah. Yeah, that's excellent.
That would be maxed out.
Well, let's go. Let's get there.
Do I want that? Maybe. I don't know. It depends on how much it takes. Because
How much do you weigh right now?
177.
Oh shit.
Yeah. But I'm leaner than this. So I'm like
It's not nothing.
probably 9%.
What is that, 15 pounds?
Yeah.
16 pounds?
10, 15 pounds of lean muscle, which I think you can build over the next 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
With consistent, rigorous exercise and really being dialed, just measuring stuff. But again, it's one of the top things for longevity is actually having muscle because it just improves everything.
Yes.
Like I talked to a bunch of guy friends recently who are like, they're like older and they're like, I told them like, hey, I think I want to build some, like really hit a new ceiling with my muscle building. And they're like, why do you want to do that? Like, what is it about? Is it just about looking good? No, it's like, yes, that too. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
But health-wise, it has all these benefits.
So this comes into one of my things that is, I think, relevant, which is, something that I don't feel like you do at all. And maybe it's something to start thinking about, which is sprint training, right?
Yes.
So
I went on the treadmill recently, 10 minutes before my workout. So
great. So recently I just got this product. They shipped it to me. It's called let's pull it up. It's called the Carol Bike 2.0. It's an AI-powered exercise bike.
you got that
I did.
for free.
Maybe.
Kyle, did you get free product again so you can talk about it on podcast?
For any product I mention on the podcast, just use code and you'll save some money.
Oh my God.
No, I'm not affiliated with all the ones we're going to talk about, but I do have an affiliate code for them, which is
Oh my God.
So-
Again, second CTA in the first 26 minutes of this. 20 minutes.
okay. So I haven't gotten a chance to use this thing yet. I'm really excited to, though.
But you're already promoting it.
Yes.
It's like terrible.
Yeah. So basically, it's an exercise bike, like any exercise, like a Peloton or something like that. But the main difference is it changes the resistance that it's giving you in real time based on the metrics that it's reading off your body and your previous sessions. And so over time, it adapts to where you are at in terms of your training. And this is specifically used for VO2 max training, which is one of the most sort of touted longevity metrics to work on, right? And as you improve VO2 max, like life expectancy goes up, all-cause-based mortality goes down. And this is the whole thing with the Carol bike is that you can do like 5-minute interval sprint workouts and you do it 3 times a week. And there's a study somewhere, it'll show somewhere on the site where it's like if you do it for 12 weeks, it increases VO2 max by like 22% on average or something like that. Can you see that?
Carol Bike scientifically proven to improve your VO2 max by 12% in just 8 weeks.
Okay, that's it.
That's like turning the clock back on your age by 10 years. Ooh.
So one of the big,
All right, Kyle, how much?
it's, I think it's like $2,500 or $3,500 or something like that. It's pretty expensive, plus a $15 a month membership.
They all do that.
They all do that now. I mean, look, you could go and run sprints on the field, or you could go hit the assault bike. Like you can, or you can just get on the treadmill and run sprints on the treadmill. Like that's all that stuff works, right? The cool part about this is that they give you a chest strap, and then you see the data in real time, and the AI adjusts. So it's like the thing I like about it is that it's precise. It's very, very precise, and you can see the gains that you're making. And so it's like if I'm gonna do VO2 max training, I don't want to just hope that I'm getting the result.
Yeah, that would suck if you...
Yeah, I'm like trying all this training, and
Didn't Justin?
yeah, he did zone 2 training for like a year and like didn't move the needle at all. And
Like his VO2 max didn't improve.
Well,
But it still supported his health.
maybe. I mean, some could argue that, running that much could actually be really bad for you.
Oh God! Can you imagine running for a year and it was actually bad for you?
Yeah, like what if you get some injuries? What if it's like, wearing down on your joints? And I don't know. So anyway, point being is I think that it's cool that you can just know if it's working.
Yes, it's the certainty.
Yes. And then there's the gamification of like, okay, you see the number, you want it to go higher,
Yeah.
which I think is going to start becoming more of a trend as we get more and more data orientated with technology and wearables and everything's being tracked now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's cool because now we don't have to guess anymore. Is this exercise actually doing the thing that I want it to? I mean, half of it you could say is mental or emotional. It's like, hey, I'm doing the thing, therefore I feel good. Because I feel good, therefore I'm healthier. And like, I want to move the needle, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's cool.
No, I'm a fan of these health products because it's not like it's a super expensive product that you need for your essential health and people don't have access to it. It's like everyone can go run, everyone can go on a bike.
Yeah.
But this is just for bonus. If you want to save some time, if you want to really commit to something, you can have it, but it's like you don't need it.
Yeah.
Which I'm a fan of. I think people might look at this product and be like, oh, that's ridiculous. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, there's no need for you to get angry at it. Just don't buy it.
Yeah.
Just go for a run.
Yeah.
And running is, is great.
Yeah.
Cool. I like it. Sad story.
Okay.
My next finding. No, it's a hopeful story, but it starts with a sad story of me as a little kid, and it has to do with oral health and teeth.
Okay.
So the story is, when I was a kid, I was terrified of cavities. I was terrified of having bad teeth, and so I would brush like a madman. I would be the cleanest kid ever with my teeth. I wouldn't eat candy. I didn't eat candy or sugary stuff as a kid. That's how afraid I was of it. And just in general, I was just a bit of a germaphobe. Like when I was 2 or 3 years old, and I would take a bite, and then I would wipe my mouth after every bite, to the point where the whole area around my mouth would be red because I was so, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
A little compulsive.
Yes, compulsive. It's some sort of, and you can psychoanalyze it and be like, yeah, it's part of
coping mechanism.
It's a coping mechanism. You want certainty. You have to have things in order, you know.
Control.
And so I had that with my teeth, and it really helped me because I never had any issues going to the dentist. The dentist was always like, great, nothing to do, amazing, cool, great.
Yeah.
And I would have these like dots on my teeth on the side. They would all be on the same side, like, and it started at the back teeth, and then it would move itself forward. And I was freaking out. I spent so many hours in front of the mirror worrying about these little dots that I had on my teeth because I thought it's cavities, it's terrible. But whenever I went to the dentist, he was like, no, it's totally fine. It's nothing. It's just some discoloration or whatever he said. I don't remember. But there was no issue. I loosened up a little bit when I got older. And when I moved to Australia, I didn't go to the dentist for 2 years. And it was fine because I never really needed anything done anyways. But I kind of forgot about this whole traumatic childhood relationship that I had with my teeth. I come to the US, go to the dentist. The dentist says, hey, we found all these cavities. Here's the bill. Thousands of dollars. And I was freaking out. I never had to get any dental work done. And this is where I learned the important lesson of always get a second opinion.
Oh.
I got all that dental work done. And at this point, I don't know if I needed it. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
But it's so unlikely that after 2 years, it's not like I stopped brushing my teeth. I was still as diligent with it. I just didn't go to the dentist, right? And then later on, I found out how common it is for people to move to the US, going to the dentist for the first time and saying, hey, you have all this dental work that you need to get done.
Yeah.
Because it's just, I don't know, it's different procedures and, I don't know, more of a capitalistic system.
Yeah,
just
it's a business.
The incentives, it seems like the incentives are more aligned in the US where it's just like, oh, cool, money. Yeah. Let's drill into this man's skull, basically.
Yeah. It's like, hey, if you go to the surgeon, they're going to say, hey, we need to cut it.
Yeah.
You go to the dentist, you got to fix this. You got to clean it.
Yeah. That's how they make money. And so I'm really upset, not about the money that I spent, but the damage that was done to my body. Because here's what happens. When you drill a hole into a tooth, and I have a bunch of fillings now, you drill into the enamel.
Oh, yeah.
The enamel cannot be restored. Once it's gone, it's gone. Teeth is one of these few things that you can't get back.
Did you know that...
Until I found this thing.
Okay.
There might be a way that we can regrow teeth for the third time. You have baby teeth.
Oh, yes.
You have adolescent teeth. And then scientists are currently working on a third way that is currently going into human trials after it has worked on mice. The reason why that is so hopeful for me is because when you get fillings or when you get dental work done and they cut off your enamel, it doesn't grow back. and your teeth don't get better. It's not like you can exercise and then your teeth rebuild themselves. No, once the damage is done, your fillings have to be replaced because they chip off. So after 5 years, maybe, or 7 years, or 3 years, depending on how good your fillings are, they have to be redone. So they have to drill a hole again and take off more of the enamel to the point where your teeth are gone. So now with the teeth that I have fillings in, I'm worried. I'm like, oh, okay, when I'm 30 or 40 or 50, like when do I have to have an implant? Because the whole tooth is gone because it just needs to be replaced, the fillings. Even though like I have such good oral health. So I looked for solutions desperately, right? Like what is a roadmap for me? Do I have to get, does this guarantee that I have to have implants when I'm in my 50s, 60s, 70s, maybe 40s, depending on how well it goes? Now, then while I was doing my research, I found this. This is the first dentition. This is basically the root of, or I don't exactly know what this is. Somebody explained it in a video, some doctor, but they basically found that these are the first teeth that are growing, right? It's like this root of the first teeth. These are the second teeth that once you have permanent teeth, that's where they come from. I don't know. There might be a better way to explain it, but they saw this third branch. They're like, what is that? Seems like there's a third time that we could grow teeth, but it just doesn't happen. Like, what if we could regrow teeth like sharks? And so what they figured out is that, basically there's a drug that stimulates the growth of these new teeth by inhibiting USAG1.
Classic.
Some
Classic
specific
USAG1.
thing. Yeah, always that one, right?
Yeah.
Man.
He really likes to act up.
And yeah, that basically would then stimulate the growth of these third set of teeth. And so right now,
You're taking that drug?
no, not yet. But I'm hopeful. Here's the thing. It's already worked on mice. And now they're doing human trials. Started this September 2024. So I just found it. When it just started, I'm like, damn. And it's going to go for a year. So we're going to hear more August 2025. 30 adult males aged between 30 to 64 are going through it. Those are people that are missing at least one molar. So that means if your teeth are messed up or you've already lost them because you went on a scooter and you were drunk that one night out and you fell and you lost your teeth, this could be revolutionary. And their goal is to make it commercially viable by 2030. So we'll see. I don't want to get too hopeful because there's always like a new thing that prevents hair loss, this and that. But exciting.
Did you know that every tooth is connected to an organ or organ system?
Is that some Chinese medicine type of thing?
It is, and beyond. Like it's definitely a thing. So like oftentimes when people like have really bad oral health, they're usually pretty sick.
Oh.
Kind of like the nitric oxide thing, right? It's like I don't know if this is accurate. Maybe someone in the comments can tell us, but like it's like there is, I think, because you have like your immune system, a lot of your immune system's in your gut, right?
Yeah.
And there's a whole nother ecosystem that lives inside of your mouth.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? But the roots of all the teeth connect to nerves, and those nerves are also connected to different organs. So sometimes when you have damage in one tooth specific, it might be related to an organ, or you might start having those types of issues related to that organ.
I never had any health issues. That's why I'm so blessed too. Always had incredible health. And I've always
Probably because you had good oral health.
Yes, I always had great oral health.
Yes.
Like
honestly, that might be like a legitimate factor. Like I'm not even being.
What do you mean? What is a legitimate factor? Why I'm so healthy?
Yes, is because you have such good oral health and you were always so like such a maniac with it that it probably actually sets you up for long-term health.
Yeah.
Because your mouth was actually really healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things I got into now after started freaking out about the whole dental stuff again was oil pulling.
Okay.
You heard of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically, you swish around coconut
oil. Yeah.
Again, it's like one of these easy over-the-counter things that are apparently very effective.
It's really good for your teeth.
Really good for your teeth.
Really good for your mouth.
Pulls out the toxins.
Yep.
And I heard, and I've checked out some resources that show some good procedures to actually reverse cavities with a lot of evidence.
Oil pulling.
Oil pulling includes that and other things.
Cool.
Like just remineralizing the teeth through a certain diet and stuff like that. And so when a dentist tells you, hey, you have a cavity here, we need to drill, get a second opinion, get a third opinion, do some research online, and you can reverse cavities at certain stages.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is I've not taken care of my mouth in the same way that you have. Like I'm not as like anal with it, but I've never had a cavity in my entire life. And it's not like I didn't eat sweet foods when I was a kid either. And I don't know why that is. Everyone else seemed to get cavities around me, but every time I go to the dentist, yeah, you have a little bit of gingivitis. Yeah, you should floss a little bit more, but never cavities.
Yeah. And since then, I never had any issues again.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seemed like a cash grab, and it's just there's so many horror stories that you read online. But this gives me hope. Things like that, and there's more and more things like that coming out. I don't know if you have anything that connects to this, but news from Bryan Johnson. You and I, we've been at his house. Mm-hmm. We broke in at night.
Yeah.
And then later on, we also got invited. And we made a video with him.
That's right.
We don't talk about the first time that we saw him. This man, he's got some exciting news. I don't know if you've heard about it, but did you see this?
No. What is this? This is a documentary. Oh, on Netflix.
Yes.
Whoa.
Right?
Dude, we might be in it.
We might be.
I had to sign a waiver.
We might be in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're one of the first people who made a video with him on YouTube. He went viral on Twitter first, and he just has this viral potential. I mean, just the thing that he does is inherently fascinating, and people talk about it. He tries to beat death. Like, how can you not be interested in that if you're a human being? Because it affects all of us.
When is this coming out?
January 1st.
Sick.
It is directed by, I don't know if it's directed by, but the guy who's involved is Chris Smith. He was the executive producer of Tiger King, and he directed the Fire Festival documentary. So it's not just some Joe Schmo. This is going to be big, and
this is huge.
It is huge. I'm super excited by it. I mean,
dude, that means my space, like the world that I live in, is about to go mainstream.
Yes,
and it's still very, very niche.
Longevity,
biohacking, longevity, anti-aging, like wellness, like it's about to go full tilt.
Yeah, and the more people know about this stuff, the more people become aware, the more companies move in that direction, and the more that space, that whole industry grows. So I'm super excited about it, so we can all grow our teeth back. Yeah, I'm super excited by it. One of the things that he recently talked about in one of his routines, I got very curious about as well, which is a minoxidil alternative.
Yeah, I saw this too.
This
is the morning routine video, right?
Yes.
Yep, I watched it.
So yeah, he goes into his hair protocol, and it's basically, I looked into it. It's called 2-DDR. It is, it's a type of sugar that you put on your scalp, and this segment they also put it on their website, just like, hey, look, Bryan Johnson endorsed us. Right now, only studies on mice have been done, and it's only been a small sample size of mice.
Okay, so it's a bit like new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, there's so many times where people talk about like these revolutionary products that are finally going to grow hair back for men.
Yeah.
Which is a huge issue. It's a huge industry. And I don't know, I'm always on the fence when I see this. There's never, like, because there's always these, these things. When Bryan Johnson points something out, I get curious.
Yeah.
Because he's so data-driven, scientific. It's not like he's just like, I don't know, just winging it.
Wow, they just blew up because of him.
Yeah.
Overnight, probably.
Yeah. Now, what I did find is there's this guy on YouTube. His channel's Hair Cafe. He debunks a lot of this stuff in general, products like this. But even he was like, hey, there's at least something here with mice.
Yeah.
But right now, it doesn't compare to minoxidil. Minoxidil is what men put on their hair, on their scalp to regrow. Basically, it's a vasodilator.
Blood flow.
Yeah, blood flow.
Yeah.
But there are some side effects that could happen in some rare cases. And right now it's only at 80% to 90% effectiveness as the 2% minoxidil. But what people usually use is 5%, which is the standard.
So it's like 100% effective or what?
No. So people use 5% minoxidil.
Yeah.
Which is the type of
minoxidil. It's like it has a 5% concentration, whatever.
Okay, sure.
And they compared it to 2% minoxidil. And of the 2% minoxidil, which is already not as effective as the 5%, it's only 80 to 90% of it's effective. This 2-DDR.
I see.
So it's like, it's not. It doesn't seem crazy effective yet, but who knows? Maybe they make some tweaks to the formula. Maybe they find some other ways. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think it's great because putting sugar in a scalp is not going to have any side effects, probably. And if any, then probably not as bad as minoxidil. And so I'm just excited about things like that developing because I don't know if I told you this. I think you witnessed it when I was kind of worried about hair loss. I had a period when I kept getting ads for it. And then I started getting self-conscious and I started looking in the mirror and be like, I do have a big forehead. What is happening here? But it is just my massive prefrontal cortex.
Yes.
It's just pure willpower in this in this skull that I have.
The cranium.
But yeah, when I look at pictures of me in 2016, I have the same hairline. Mm-hmm. And so my 23andMe test also showed very unlikely for me to have any thinning before 40.
I'm seeing a pattern. The teeth.
Tell me.
The teeth, the hair, the obsession.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yes, we can talk about it. I've gotten a lot better at it. Like just in general, growing up as a kid, I was always very worried about a lot of things. Mm. And now I think I've built a level of confidence that just diminishes a lot of the worries. Just a lot of them. Mm. Because like most things that I thought were going to be bad turned out fine. And it's like...
What a metaphor for life, right?
Yeah, every time I experience it, I'm like, oh, I didn't have to be worried. I didn't have to be worried. And even for the things that did come true, I'm glad they happened. Yeah. Like me getting kicked out of Australia when I broke up with my girlfriend and I had 28 days to leave the country. Now I'm in the US. I'm so glad I'm here. It's way better here.
Totally.
I love the USA.
Okay, I got one. So I got this weird like knot on my foot.
See a pattern. You want to talk about it?
And
does it have something to do with your front tooth, maybe? Because that's connected to the...
Yes, exactly.
You got a knot on your toe.
It's on the bottom of my foot. And I think it's because I've been doing a lot of barefoot training and a lot of barefoot sprinting. And I think it's just been like a lot of impact. Mm-hmm. And I looked it up and then I had a podiatrist like look at my foot and stuff. And what she told me is it's like a neuroma. So it's basically just like this, it's like an inflamed piece of tissue that's just like it's like a marble-sized thing in my foot. And it doesn't hurt. It's just kind of annoying. It's just kind of in the way.
It's like stepping on a Lego every step you take.
Yeah, but like less than that. Less than that. Way less than that.
Ow. No. Oh, Kyle's doing exercise again.
So I go to an acupuncturist every 2 weeks. It's just like maintenance for me. And I told her, hey, I got this thing on my foot. Like, can we work on it? And she put some needles around it. And then she's like, okay, you got to get this thing to help. And just put this on like once or twice a day. And it's called Evil Bone Water.
Wow. I was jokingly saying, what do you got there? Snake oil? Oh, no. Evil Bone Water. Okay. That's the next best name they came up with.
So it's some Chinese like herbs. And it's like ancient. Like this comes from like ancient times.
This specific bottle.
Yes. This is from the Zhen Shi Jun Shi dynasty. Okay.
Ah, the one where 500 million people perished.
So basically, you just take off the top. You spray on a couple sprays, and I swear to God, this thing fixes anything like bone, muscle, ligament.
It regrows teeth.
Mm-hmm. But like anything injury related that's like tissue. Yeah. So like it's like Chinese mom like status. Like that's the thing that like if you were in like a Chinese family, your mom would be spraying on you like all the time. Like, oh, you're sick, have some of this. Oh, you're like you have an injury, spray some of this.
Kyle, this seems like the most snake oil thing. What is this? You just spray that on, it just fixes everything?
It kind of does. I was so skeptical and
no, God.
I swear. So
what else have you sprayed it on?
So I had an injury behind my knee Again, I think it was a sprinting injury, and it was just like a little bit of inflammation. Like, I don't know, maybe it was the way I was running or something, but like there was just like kind of this bump behind my knee that was like inflamed, and it was it was a bitch. It really hurt, and so I sprayed this on for like a few weeks, and it just went away. It just went away, and I'm like, that's kind of weird, you know? Like it was really painful, and then it just got better. And I didn't really do anything else other than spray this thing on it. So look it up, Evil Bone Water. And like I would say look up, is Evil Bone Water legit?
Comes with spray nozzles. It's the exact
Same one. It's the same one. Yeah. See, look, painful joints, swollen joints, old injuries, sprain, sports injuries.
Bone unhurting juice. That's a better name for it. So it doesn't help with everything. It helps with joints, bones, stuff like that.
Well, that's what I was trying to say. Like tissue-related issues, like ligaments, joints, muscles, like that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Something to look into. I would have to look more into it for me to actually make a purchase and actually put it on twice a day, because that reeks a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's got that like, you know,
Healthy.
oriental smell.
Healthy oriental smell.
Yeah. It's like Tiger Balm. Did you remember Tiger Balm? Did you ever have that before?
No, I heard about it recently.
Tiger Balm is like, it's kind of the same thing, except it's like a cream. Like it's like a, I don't know, it's like a paste that you like apply to like, it's like icy hot kind of, but it has like herbs and like, it's like a Chinese thing. So my mom used to use that on me when I was a kid all the time.
She used to bomb you.
Yeah.
This here I found really funny.
What is that? I can't
Bryan
see
Johnson keeps getting cooler. Waking body temperature, 2020 used to be 98.7 Fahrenheit. Now it's 93.4 Fahrenheit.
I feel like that's
Here,
questionable.
check this out. You have to swim in ice for over an hour to achieve a similar body temperature reduction. I'm cold plunging 24/7.
I feel like that's not good. Like your body has like a homeostasis of temperature that it needs to be in. And if it goes too far below or too far above, you basically die.
Bryan Johnson goes from don't die to die. What killed him? His body temperature.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know. I know that too. But it may be, in relationship to a bunch of other factors, right? Like body fat percentage, like how well your cells work. I don't know.
That's above my pay grade.
Have you heard of Chuan To Tan?
No.
This is someone that you can make a video about. So Kyle makes a bunch of videos about people who have reversed aging, stopped aging, and they look young, but they're old.
Oh, maybe I've seen this guy.
Have a look at this guy.
I think I've seen him before. Yeah, I've seen this guy.
Do you know how old he is?
He's like 57 or something, 55.
Yeah.
Yeah.
58.
58. Yeah, insane. Literal insanity. Yeah. He's so chill about it too. I watched some of his interviews and they're like, how do you do it? He's like, you just exercise, you sleep good, you take care of yourself.
No. I exercise. You should speak from I.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. This is definitely someone I should make a video with.
yeah, I mean,
He's like a model though too. Like that's his job is basically to look as good as possible.
yeah, he better be a model. Otherwise, I would suggest a career change.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great. Is it achievable for me as a white guy? Maybe if I follow.
Asians also don't age the way that other ethnicities do, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't do anything that's just like, he does something very specific. It's like it's the same advice applies. It's like,
Yeah, it's like do the basics and do them well and do them consistently for a long time.
Yeah. Big fan of RFK.
Yeah.
So he just went on TV, just like cleaning up. So basically talking about seed oils.
Okay.
And it's interesting, the government subsidizes it. Why would the government want to subsidize something that's going to make people sick? And then in the end, we all end up paying for that in terms of healthcard costs, which are skyrocketing.
Yeah, because that is a direct result of corruption.
It's hard to listen to him, man.
I just have the urge to clear my throat. But he basically talks about seed oils, right?
Yeah.
One of these things that every biohacker in Austin has nightmares about.
Yep.
Which makes sense. I mean, you know how many seeds it takes to make a little bit of oil?
He's like thousands.
It's just so unnatural. There's nature didn't intend
But yeah,
for
and
us
then
to
you got to
consume that
bleach
much.
it, and there's like hexane, and like it's super highly processed. It's not what you're looking for.
So him talking about it on national TV like that, fascinating. Also, the biggest scam, natural flavors.
Oh yeah,
So when you see natural flavors on the ingredients, you just know, okay, they can put anything in here.
yeah.
One of the things that's interesting is you'll see on labels natural flavors, which is this catch-all phrase that I guess was lobbied for, but the ingredients in natural flavors are not really natural.
No. In our country, natural flavors are
Sorry, it's just a reflex. No, I feel bad. I love the guy. But damn, there's something wrong with his voice.
He has like a condition.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, then we can't laugh about it. Then the next big thing is food coloring.
Oh yeah.
Just
So
like-
I met the guy who's basically spearheading that lawsuit. He's in Austin.
Is it the guy who has the chocolate?
Yes.
Human?
Human Co.
Human Co.
Yeah, the guy's name is Jason Karp. So I met him at an event like 2-3 weeks ago.
Carp?
Yeah.
Like the Pokemon?
Magic Carp. And he basically filed this lawsuit against Kellogg's, basically saying, hey, you have these food dyes in your food or in your products, not food. You have these food dyes in your products and you don't have them in the same products outside the US. So in Europe, you have Fruit Loops, but they don't have the food dyes because Europe doesn't allow that bullshit in their food.
It's banned.
It's banned. And same with Canada. Same
That's
with
why I had such good teeth.
Yes, same with South America, right?
I grew up in Europe.
All these places, they do not allow these food, quote unquote, products, right? They have much higher standards for what they'll allow into the state or into their country. And so he basically was like, yo, that's not cool. Like, you guys got to get this out of our food system. And then a bunch of other health influencers got on the same train and started lobbying for this thing. And now it's happening, bro. It's like they're going to lose. Like Fruit Loops, Kellogg's, whatever, they're going to lose. And once they do, there's going to be a bunch of other lawsuits, not just about food dyes, but it'll be about natural flavors. It'll be about maltodextrin. It'll be about all these other food products that are ingredients that are inside of our processed foods that hopefully will get removed in the next decade, which will completely change everything for the better.
Yeah. I mean, the ripple effect it'll have on a society is going to be insane.
The biggest part is it's going to set a precedent. Like, this lawsuit will set a precedent, which will change, hopefully, the standard in America.
Yeah.
And with everything happening with RFK, I feel like it's just perfect time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing. I'm super excited. So seeing that, just like him going on TV, I don't know much about RFK, but from what I've seen, I like the guy. Yeah. He's ripped, and yeah, he seems like he's living it, right? And so I just thought that's a step forward. Last thing I have for the main topics. I think you also still have something, right?
I got a bunch. Yeah.
I think it should become a thing to make health check parties.
Health check parties.
Yes. It's a dope bender. It's the party of the year. It's so fun. It's so incredible. It's like the thing that everyone looks forward to, like Christmas. There's just one condition for you to get invited. You have to do all these health checks that people say you should do all the time, which is like colorectal cancer,
Yeah.
prostate cancer, all those things.
Yeah.
And you make it cool and fun to do those things.
Yeah. I love that. I love that idea.
Should we spearhead that?
I mean, I'd be down.
Yeah, dude, that would do really well on your channel.
That would be.
And just in general, the health movement that you're building and the community that you're building, all that.
Yeah, it's like you get a full metabolic panel, right? You get an environmental toxin panel, right? You get
This is already like super deep biohacking stuff, though.
No.
I would say like the mortal stuff.
Yeah. That those two things, a metabolic panel is like, that's like blood sugar and hormones and hormone panel and stuff like that. So just like get your blood work done, just standard blood work, and maybe a little bit extra, and then a couple checks, right?
Yeah, because I've never done checks like this, meaning cancer checks. I've done blood tests and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But man, imagine how many lives could be saved if this became a thing.
Yeah.
because it's literally just inconvenience. Just like, oh, I have so much other stuff to do. What are the chances that we'll actually find something
Important but not urgent.
Exactly, important, not urgent. So, man, I think if there was somebody out there who just made it fun and cool by throwing a party, and you can only come if you did these tests, that would be, yeah. Like, imagine like ACL, Austin City Limits Festival.
Yeah.
And if you do these health checks, you get in for free.
Cool.
You know?
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and there's probably ways financially that you can justify it by
how much it lowers GDP or like the burden, healthcare burden on, the government, like, I don't know, but like I was about to say the same thing. It's like, I'm sure there's a economist or something that could basically model out how much money is actually saved by doing this. So in fact, maybe we end up making money as a byproduct of letting people in for free because they have to get the checks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's another $1 trillion business idea. That should have been the segment.
Yeah.
Damn it. Because it's a segment in the podcast.
Oh,
It's $1 trillion business ideas.
Okay. My
yeah.
turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
What else you got?
So
This is before we get into the guru of the week. I'm excited to show you this one.
So I already shared this one with you, but I wanted to share it with the listeners and the viewers, which is I have been optimizing my sleep for 6-7 years, and I've helped thousands of people improve their sleep. And I recently added this glycine powder to my sleep routine. And it is, I feel like, the most slept on, pun intended, supplement when it comes to helping you sleep. Glycine is an amino acid that it helps you just downshift like quickly. Like you go from being like an active mind to like, I'm like kind of sleepy, I'm relaxed, I'm kind of drowsy mind. But when you take glycine and you wake up the next morning, you won't wake up drowsy like you do with melatonin. And so it forces you into sleep. And I just love how it makes me feel. The company, no affiliation, is Designs for Health. That's the one that I use. The one that you got, it gave me GI issues. Like it upset my stomach a little bit.
I have an iron stomach, so.
Yeah. So this is the one that I like, and that's been a game changer for me. And there's been very few tweaks that I've made to my sleep because I feel like I had figured it out, but this actually made a big impact.
And I can speak into that as well. Glycine, that's what makes you sleepy from magnesium glycinate.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. So
It's
the good sleep magnesiums usually have magnesium glycinate in it, and that's magnesium plus the amino acid of glycine.
Yeah. So yeah, my experience also has been when I take it, then after a while you feel this like just like droopiness a little bit. You get ready for sleep faster. It helps you wind down.
Yeah. It's definitely good for the
faster.
wind down. Okay, last thing is I think we should test this. This
Kana.
is a new Kana that I just got. Steve Young hooked it up. Apparently this is the best extract that he's ever tried. And what Kana is it comes from a plant.
It's a succulent.
It's a succulent from South Africa, I believe. And it was used in like tribal times for kind of like medicinal-ish purposes. It's very calming, it's very relaxing, often referred to as nature's MDMA, and it's euphoric. So it's feel good. Like when you take it, it like warms your heart a little bit, opens you up, and it's known to be an anti-anxiety, antidepressant, and it acts on this serotonergic system. So
Wait.
what is that all about?
I don't know. It's an anime character.
Okay.
No, Kana is this right here. Yeah. I gave you the Kana that you bought it off of me.
Yes.
I bought like a tiny little, what do you call it? Like a tiny little bottle.
Tincture bottle.
Tincture of it. It was $100, but it's like you put a few drops in and it's illegal. It's over the counter. And you just have this huggy feeling. You're just like, I love people, man. I want to hug people. Everything's good. I love alcohol alternatives, and this is one of them.
Yes. So this is, so basically what I'm working on right now is I am trying to figure out my perfect combination of compounds that will give me a desired effect when I go out. So I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke weed. I don't really do drugs. And I still like to get altered. Like, I really like changing my state through a substance, but I'm not down to do hard stuff. And I want to be able to sleep at night, and I want to be able to wake up feeling fine the next day. I just want to shift myself a little bit. So I'm trying to combine the right, precursors to set myself up for that feeling that I'm sort of chasing, which is a euphoria. It's a calming, relaxing feeling. It's also a social feeling. So I'm not like going to sleep. It's a stimulating feeling, maybe a little bit of like arousal. So maybe like I'm thinking, okay, Kana plus I have
What do you mean by arousal? Hold on.
like turned on a little bit,
What do you mean by turned on?
like sexually turned on.
Oh God.
Like I want to be stimulated in like a very kind of subtle way where it's like, okay, I'm like feeling it, like when you take
You want to get smoogey.
yeah, when you take certain drugs, which I wouldn't know anything about, but when you do that, it puts you in a feeling, in a mood, and it makes everything better, So I want to simulate a similar type of experience without the intensity and the damage that comes from hardcore drugs.
Yeah. So this is one of them.
So this is one of them. Then I have some omega krill oil. So this has high levels of EPA and DHA. So this is really good for mood, right? So this is definitely like a happy supplement.
You feel the day of?
I feel it. Yeah, when I take it, I feel it. So mixing this with the Kana, then I'm thinking about taking some maca, which I don't have on me right now.
It's also from a root.
Yep. Maca also is like good for your libido. It's also relaxing and stimulating at the same time. And then in addition to that, the nitric oxide tablets, right? So more blood flow, more cognition to the prefrontal cortex. I'm more in the zone. I'm more locked in. I'm more like, okay, we're here. We're doing something, right? Mm-hmm. There's still a few other compounds that I don't know what they should be. I need to do more research. Maybe some kava, maybe like, I don't know. I was like doing some research the other day, but I haven't found exactly the right combo, but I'm in that experimentation phase.
Yeah. And it's different for everyone, right? People
Yes.
react differently. So it makes sense that you want to figure out your best, your best
Combination.
combination.
Yeah.
You want to try that now?
Yeah, let's do it. You want to do it?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I don't know how much we're supposed to take because it doesn't say on the bottle.
Just as a standard procedure, when you don't know how much to take, just take double in case.
Yeah.
So you
So
make
I'm
sure
I'm just gonna take a pipette,
Okay.
like that much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You put it underneath your tongue, right?
I gosh.
All right.
Off Etsy.
You bought this legally off Etsy. Oh, Etsy is a little.
I trust Steve Young.
All right.
Yeah. The other thing that I'm taking right now is, dude, I really want to figure out how to make. Yeah, it's very fishy. I really want to find out how to make. Like, I want to start. I'm taking beef liver supplements. I'm not. I don't know. I'm not sold yet on the beef liver supplements.
Well, you already bought it.
I am. I'm testing it out. But I want to find a way to make beef liver taste good. It's just like one of those things. It's the most nutrient dense food, like bar none. So it's like, how do I get this consistently in my diet?
How about this? You freeze a liver, slap chop it, and then you just
I could do that.
who knows? Maybe we might feel something
Yeah.
from the kind of.
Let's see how. Give ourselves 10 minutes or so.
You feeling it?
No, not yet. Are you?
I love you, Kyle.
Come on, dude. You're such a fucking.
What?
You're just such a cheese ball. All right, that's it. That's all. That's what I got.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm up to date on the latest health trends.
Yep.
So
Oh no, I got one more thing. One more
Okay.
thing. Okay, you're gonna like this one too.
this better be good.
So go to YouTube. Just type in N SIMA SIMA. So I'm going out to Sacramento to do a video with this guy right before Christmas, and have you ever heard of Mark Bell, the Strength Project? Mm-hmm. I think it's what is it, Power Project, and he's the co-host on that podcast, and
Spelling mistake. You see that? Immediately saw that rotation. Unless they call it rotation.
So basically what he's talking about in this video is how the way traditionally people strength train, it really messes up their spine and the way that they move, right? And so he can speak from a place of authority because he did bodybuilding at a high level.
Because he did ruin his spine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's this thing called rope flow where it's kind of like dancing with this like rope, like it's like jump rope / like dancing. And it's supposed to be really, really good for your spine.
I can see that.
And it comes from this guy named David Weck, who invented the Bosu ball. Do you know what the Bosu ball is? It's like you see the gym. It's like a half like a yoga ball.
You stand on it.
Yes. So the guy who
balance ball type of thing.
Yeah. So the guy who invented that invented rope flow, and he's all about the spine. He calls it the spinal engine. And it's like that's where all your generative like force comes through, and like that's what is like in reference to also your gait. So you know how I talk about functional patterns, which also we probably could talk about after this, which is the type of training that I've been doing for the last like 8 months and has completely changed my life. But it's all around gait mechanics. So the idea behind this
Gait meaning
how you
walk.
Yeah, how you walk. And so by doing these different movements, you're training your spine to move better. And therefore it's like much more fluid when you move, and it's supposed to be really regenerative for your joints.
Yeah, you don't do movements with your spine sideways in the gym.
No.
It's all linear.
Yes.
And man, I think that really helps you tap into your feminine too. No jokes.
Really?
Yeah, just fluid movements. Because that's all.
Less rigidity.
That's what it's all about. The masculine movement is all about straight lines, forward, penetrating. You know.
Yeah.
Whereas this is all these diagonals and circles that you're drawing, and I mean, he also shows the ankles and stuff like that. I'm assuming that helps really with ankle stability too, with knees, with probably so many things. And I think in the spine, there's a lot of like tiny little muscles alongside the spine. I would assume that have very intricate movements that are required, and so
and there's something called a cerebral spinal fluid, right? And it's basically like it's like the what's the word? It's like greasing or like what's the word? It's
the oil that you put on your door when it creaks
for the hinges. Yeah, it's like moving that up and down the spine is very healing and very regenerative.
Nice. I like this.
So I'm going out to go shoot a video with this guy in a week about this exact thing, about rope flow.
Exciting.
Yeah. And then I'll give you the update on the functional pattern stuff too. So I'm about 8 months into my training, and wow, dude, like my mind continues, like I'm having unlock after unlock after unlock. Cause like little context
Kyle,
is,
you're not going to get me into it.
I know
this is a cult that you joined. I know everyone is.
It is super culty, but like honestly, probably the most culty. But the thing I love about it is that, all right, the way that it's set up where I train is you're basically working with a trainer in some respect almost every time, and then you work out with your shirt off, and then they put mirrors around you, and basically they're cueing you the whole time. So basically you're if you went to the gym and you got trained by a normal trainer with your clothes on at a normal gym, there's no feedback for you other than push harder. That's it. It's just like, no, more weight or less weight or rest a little bit.
Well, ideally you have a trainer that also tells you, hey, do the form correctly.
Yeah. But it's very minimal, and they can't even see the form because your clothes is covering it up.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, how do they actually know what's happening, right?
Yeah.
So
everyone's shirtless there, yeah.
Yeah, their whole philosophy is around the biomechanics of standing, walking, running, and throwing. And so all the moves that you do and it's strength training for your gait cycle.
Yeah, and you have people with cerebral palsy like this guy here.
Yeah, insane testimonials.
Yeah.
Like really, really crazy testimonials.
Yeah.
And I think in a few years, the way people train is going to change a lot because so many people eventually get hurt or injured. And this is about training so that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That's one of the big things that I had thought about recently too. When I was at a conference or a seminar, I should say, with a bunch of guys, and the guys in their 40s were like, "Hey, I wish in my 30s and 20s I took more care of my
Joints,
spine, all that, because a friend of mine, he had a bunch of knee surgeries and he has a hip surgery coming up, and he's 40, and it's like, oh man, that sucks. I don't want that, and that could very well happen to me, doing only strength training and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's time to get into that sort of stuff. The time is always now, right? So it's just a huge commitment, it sounds like.
It is a huge commitment, but so is like normal working out. You know what's a bigger commitment is getting out of pain.
True.
It's like
I just want to figure out the 80-20 for this. So
the 80-20 is really thinking about rotational movements. And how do I train rotation in everything that I do, and the fascial sling. And the fascial sling is basically this like connective tissue that like connects different parts. There's like multiple fascial slings. There's the front line, there's the back line, there's the lateral line on both sides. And there's a few more. I'm not like an anatomy expert, but basically like when you train certain movements together, you're training that fascial sling system. And what I noticed as I started doing this is it changed the way that I moved. It changed the way that I walked. Because when you walk, let's say I step forward with my left foot, my right shoulder and right hand should come forward when I step with my left foot. And the opposite should happen when I step with my right foot. And so, for example, if I was doing a row, I would just, instead of just like sitting down and rowing, which is how often are you doing this in life? Very rarely. And at what weight? Like heavy weight? Probably not very much. So instead of just sitting down and rowing, I'm going to row, and then I'm also going to rotate
the spine
and move the other hand forward. And maybe I'll throw in a step back too. So it's like I'm just pairing those movements together. I can still strength train, but I'm just making sure to do these movements
with rotation,
yes,
and in a functional way where it prevents injuries, and it makes you flexible, or not flexible, but
it makes you move better.
Yeah.
It works with the way that the human body biomechanics were designed to work.
Yeah.
Versus isolating.
Yeah.
Which nothing is in isolation in the human body.
Yeah. I'm excited to see people who have done this work to a high degree and see how they turn out when they're older.
Yeah.
Because maybe that would inspire a lot of people. Cool. It's exciting. I will get into it at some point.
Yeah.
Before I get injured.
Yeah.
That's what I'm declaring.
Okay.
We caught up on all the health things. Now let's talk about the next segment, which is Guru of the Week. Guru of the Week is always about fascinating characters out there who are pushing themselves to the limits. They push what human potential is, and sometimes they're just really funny and entertaining. In this case, I have a crazy character for you.
Okay.
Super entertaining. And I think it's just part of evolution that we have this diversity of people. And there is just a rare breed of people that just push things to the very limit. And they go out into the jungle all by themselves because they're looking for the edge of the world. And in the meantime, they don't find that the world is flat, but they find something else, right? Do we want to copy exactly what they do? No, but they come back with some findings that are really insightful.
Okay.
And I think this guy makes some really great points. Introducing the snake diet guy.
Okay.
Do you know about him?
No.
So first of all, you can tell a lot about him and his energy that he brings in his videos by his thumbnails. He's passionate.
Oh my God.
I love this guy. I love him.
Okay.
So he figured out the thumbnail game. He figured out his niche. And the intros are always the same.
Hey, fatty! This is why I eat one meal a day. It's easy as hell to do whatever you want, not get fat, you idiot! It's easy as hell! It'll take any fat person from fat to an excellent body weight without even trying, with no effort. It's a joke! It's a joke! It's so easy, it's convenient!
To give you some background, so this is Cole Robinson from Canada, and his channel is called The Snake Diet, and the Snake Diet is basically what he started, which is you fast for multiple days to lose weight and also improve your health in general.
Yeah.
And then you eat large meals,
Okay.
kind of like what a snake does.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah, it makes sense.
It doesn't eat anything, and then it eats a whole cow.
Yeah.
With one gulp. And the protocol is just you fast for 48, 72 hours, you eat a big meal. And then you repeat the fast. The only thing that you can have during a fast is water and snake juice, which is just a homemade salt drink.
Evil bone leather.
Yeah, right? So it's not like he's selling snake juice. You can just make it at home. It's like magnesium,
Potassium, sodium.
chloride, stuff like that.
Electrolytes, basically.
And his point is, if you're fat, just fast. Or if you want to lose weight, just eat one meal a day, OMAD, basically.
Yeah.
Because then it's impossible for you to eat over your macros. And you don't need the scale. You don't need to count macros. Just do that. And he gives some great points.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I did a dry fast. So I did water fasts and then I also did dry fast. Dry fast, you don't drink any water for 48 hours. And then I did a 72-hour dry fast. No water, and I did a hard dry fast, which he talked about too. I don't recommend it at all.
Just no showers, right?
Yeah, a hard dry fast is you don't get in touch with water, which, according to this guy, is twice as hard as a normal dry fast, and that was very tough. But I mean, if you look at the comments, people are literally like, "Hey, like finally somebody says it how it is," and the comments are great. People are just like, oh, "It's just so refreshing to hear someone call me a fatty and just like tell me like, come on, let's fucking do this."
Yeah.
You know? So he does have a fan base and people who get results that are just like, oh, thanks for saying how it is. And I acknowledge the guy for
How many subscribers does he have?
181,000.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
I acknowledge him for not caring what people think. He's one of those characters who's like, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
And he's not scared of like being misunderstood, being misrepresented and just like that and stuff like that. And he doesn't care. He's just doing this thing. And I think he's helping a lot of people.
Yeah.
And there's a fascinating experiment that he did that put him on the map for me, which is that he did a McDonald's only diet.
Whoa.
So he only ate McDonald's for 30 days, but he did OMAD. So he would fast for 23 hours and then eat a huge meal at McDonald's. He wouldn't eat fries, and he would make sure that he hits the macros, right? But yeah, I mean, he talks about the premise of it, and he tested, he did a bunch of tests before and after that.
Like blood tests and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it talks about it here.
So fasting, basically, the whole reason for the McDonald's diet
What's up with the
is
fingernails?
the idea that fasting is so effective that I can literally eat processed food with good macro count, mind you. And I'm not being an idiot. I'm staying away from all the sugar and shit. So I'm eating processed food with the proper protein, carbs, and fat. How's it going, man? Good.
So yeah, he basically gets tested, right? He tests, the usual stuff, right? DEXA, body scan, bone density, inflammation as well.
Blood work.
Yeah, he gets a blood work test as well. And what do you think the results are?
Maybe like moderately worse.
So the results.
This experiment, you were trying to prove that the worst fast food that everybody blames that is the worst, McDonald's. Even an athlete, if supreme athlete, if they're on this diet, the amount of difference it really makes.
Exactly, it's negligible.
Exactly.
That's cool. See, that is because I know that if I stuck to this diet for one more week and I actually did cut those calories back, you'd be blown away how much weight. Even 2 weeks, I could probably lose 2 solid pounds of body fat and still keep the muscle on.
Your bone density since last time has gone up by 0.7%.
That is crazy.
Your bones are stronger today than they were last time. Olympic level athletes, so this is a body they maintain for just a couple of weeks, or maybe a month and a half. 6 to 13, you are at 11. So right 11, now, so even after a month of McDonald's, your body is ready to go to Olympics right now. So what did that tell you, right?
That's true.
There you go.
High five.
Also, his inflammation was super low.
I would love to know. Well, that makes sense because fasting's really good for inflammation.
Yeah.
Right.
So the point that he makes is it doesn't matter so much what you eat if you fast. Which logically, if we follow the line of reasoning, is when you're fasting, your body has time to process a bunch of this stuff, clean up, regenerate, and so it makes sense. And going back to what we talked about in the beginning, right? For longevity, fasting, reversing aging, all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, he kind of proves it.
Crazy. I wonder what his background is in terms of how long he's been training, how long
he's a personal trainer.
Yeah.
He's a personal trainer, so he does have a lot of backlog of that.
Yeah. But still, I mean, it's still remarkable.
Yeah.
What's up with these health guys in there painting their finger? Brian Johnson, this guy,
Yeah. He did this throughout the video because he thought it was funny.
Okay.
He did it as a
Like the little golden arches on the thumbs or something.
Okay. Oh, I see. That's
Ronald McDonald's fingernails and stuff like that.
That's cool.
And he does a bunch of challenges too where he doesn't care what people think and he puts a dildo on his head and walks around and stuff like that. So
that's cool.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. I love him. So this is him getting absolutely wrecked on TV.
Appreciate your conviction
and your passion.
And you have a real passion for attacking this real problem of obesity. And are we winning the war? Probably not. But our job here today is, and you're showing your results. Hey, I can Google World Health Organization. I can see people.
He's on Zoom. You can hear him actually scream in the background, but they just talk over him. You hear that?
Probably not. But our job here today is, and you're showing your results. Hey, I can Google World Health Organization. I can see people in famine areas starving, and yes, they're going to be skinny. I mean, there's no denying that.
They're not fat. Fat people can't starve. And then you say that this is dangerous when people are chopping their guts out with bariatric surgery. How do you deal with a 1,000-pound man?
For a 25-year-old person, what is the end game? What is your plan? So hypothetically speaking, this person is going to live until, let's say, they're 85. So what are they going to do between now and 85 to maintain that weight loss?
Okay, so basically what happens, so if you're fat, you have a fasting routine for everybody, okay? So we're talking about weight loss here.
Okay.
So the fat people don't need to eat. They need to fast as long as they can. They need to be in fasting forced ketosis. This is not a ketogenic diet.
So for 60 years?
What's that?
For 60 years? So
some great quality of life.
From 25 to 85. So I'm talking about the long-term plan.
Isn't it infuriating how they're just
Yeah, you know what, dude?
But this guy he's standing up, he's fighting.
He's low-key inspiring.
Absolutely. And I want to be clear about this too. The guru of the week is not a way to make fun of someone.
Yeah.
It's to be, hey, he's an interesting character who's either entertaining or has something great to say or whatever, right? And so he's one of them. He is inspiring.
Well, he's clearly super passionate and convicted about helping people.
Yeah.
And that really bleeds through.
I need some more of this. He's inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
And he's fighting for what he believes in. Mm-hmm. And these mainstream doctors who are just so fast for 60 years. Fasting is not this fad diet thing.
It's a lifestyle.
It can be a lifestyle, and it's proven science with very good research backing it up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's how we're built for fasting.
Yeah, this is just TV, man. It's that's what TV has to do.
Yeah.
I want to hear your plan.
Let me finish.
Okay.
So say you got a guy, let's just go through the whole thing. So you got a guy 500 pounds. So he comes to me, say we're fasting hardcore, we're doing 72s, 96-hour fast, and so on and so forth. He gets down to 200 pounds. Okay, he gets down to 200 pounds. Maybe he does a 1-month fast. Then once you're lean, then you can go back to a lower or a higher eating frequency, like a meal a day, which is what I eat. I compete in powerlifting.
So for the next 59 years, they're going to eat 1 meal a day.
Exactly. Why not?
What do you eat in that meal? I'm just curious. What are you eating? Small game because it's the snake diet, or what exactly are you eating during that 1 meal?
Well, you don't need to be smart.
Eats it whole.
Yeah, with the tea,
God, I just want to.
I gotta say, I've seen your pics. I eat 6 times a day, and I'd put my abs against yours. There's different ways to do it.
Cole.
Yeah. I think it's just interesting. It's like, just because you have abs doesn't mean you're healthy.
Yes.
And like, why would that be the metric? Like, why? You know?
And Cole Robinson outcompetes that guy in fitness.
Oh, yeah.
Is his name Cole Robinson? Yeah.
Because he's a power lifter, right?
Yeah.
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 So he's probably really strong.
Oh, yes. Yes. He's really strong. He's very lean. And it's
I think there's something very attractive and like magnetizing about someone who cares that much about anything.
Yeah. And is willing to go against everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you seeing in him that you're like, oh, I want to cultivate more of that?
The Connor's kicking in. You feel it?
I'm starting to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I see in him is just he doesn't care about being misunderstood.
Yeah. That's a big thing for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And especially talking about health right now.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you brought up the evil bone water and stuff like that, it's like, you know, or I think it was with the nitric oxide, you're like, you know, in a lot of cases, and this is just
the tributylin. Yeah, the tributylin.
And and just, you know, not saying this is for everyone, and, you know,
yeah,
just so you're not taken out of context.
Yeah.
Like, you have to tiptoe around so much. And he's just like, hey, fatty.
Yeah.
Stop eating. Fast for as long as you can. And then when you're down to 180 pounds, go eat a meal.
Yeah.
One meal.
Yeah.
And then you do that. And then if you gain weight, because that's how I shield myself against any weight gain. If I ever, like, let's say I turn 40 or whatever, and I'm like, oh, I'm gaining weight really easily. The way I would deal with it is I would just stop eating. I would just fast.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you don't lose any muscle, barely any muscle, if you keep exercising a little bit. You do 48-hour fasts. Like, you can easily do a 72-hour fast every month.
Uh-huh.
You can do a 24-hour fast every week.
Yep.
Like, you will be lean for the rest of your life.
The Kana is definitely hitting.
Yeah?
Yes. I can feel it just like, yeah.
You want to watch some cat videos?
No. What else we got?
You and I are both on YouTube. We both know what the roller coaster is like. YouTube is the most unforgiving force of nature. She's a tough woman to date.
Yeah.
She will make you obsessed with her, and then she withdraws love for months.
Cold, hard mistress.
Yeah. Now then there's this guy here. Fishing YouTuber Odad grew from 1,300 to 1.3 million subs in 5 days. After a TikToker shouted him out.
Oh my God.
This is how much he grew all of a sudden. 400,000 subscribers in one day. Almost 4,500 subscribers. Wow. How would you feel about making 456 videos? You get almost no views. You make videos for years, and then all of a sudden you get 1.5 million subscribers in 5 days, or in a week.
Pure heroin, straight to the dick, dude. That's the most addicting part about YouTube. As at any point in time, something like this could happen. Not necessarily this much, but like on a smaller scale. Like one video you could post could completely change the trajectory of your life.
That scares me. You know why?
Why?
I don't want this to happen anymore.
Oh, yeah. Just want it to be slow and steady.
Yes, I want it to be slow and steady. Now, I started this new channel, Driven Podcast with Leon Hendricks, because I wanted to get away from my old channel. Problem was, Chase Hughes came on. I knew how to package the video so it blows up. I did it because I could.
Mm-hmm.
And it did really well. 3.1 million views, and I got 50. Oh no, we're at 60,000 subscribers now.
Oh my God!
Did I overtake you?
No. I'm at 90,000.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm at 90,000.
So I'm at 60,000 because of this one episode. This one episode got me 55, 57, 58,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
And it's exactly not what I wanted. I wanted slow growth from people who are like, okay, I want to keep watching these videos. I like the hosts, I like the topics, but people subscribe because they they liked him, and they probably hope to see more of him. And so I've got all these subscribers now, and so Kyle, I'm gonna start a new channel again.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yes.
No. See, I think you have this story in your mind, bro. You have this story that's like, it's like these subscribers won't want to watch whatever it is you're going to put up.
Yeah.
We don't know that.
Here's my thought, Kyle. They subscribe because they want to see this. If I put out us sitting here, two no-names, bro scientists, making immature jokes. I already got so much hate on this because I laughed at inappropriate moments and people said I was immature. The audience on this channel right now is 40s and 50s up. They're not into this stuff. And so it was my fault. I did the whole viral thing again. I did. And I need to actively work against that.
Yeah.
And so I know I'm not going to continue doing interviews like this where I'm just like sitting down with a person and I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions and it's going to be a co-host show.
Yeah.
So if I have Chase Hughes on again, which I was just on a call with him yesterday again, he said he was just on Diary of a CEO, and he said, Leon, your podcast was still the best one I've ever been on. It's been the most fun. If I ever had him on again, it would be a co-host show like this, multiple topics, but it wouldn't be like, oh, let me interview you.
Yeah.
We talk about stuff that he's an expert in.
Yeah.
Here's my plan. I'm going to turn this into a clips channel. What do you think? Doesn't this change everything? And then you have long-form co-hosted episodes on a new channel. And by the time that people are seeing this, they already see it.
Yeah.
But that's my plan, and that's my reasoning for it.
So why are you bringing it up to me now on the thing?
Because you're a fellow YouTube creator.
Okay. So what do you continue?
I'm not asking anything.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know.
Just let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, man, one of the worst things to happen is going viral with content that you don't want to continue making.
Yeah.
And that you can't deliver on. And then people get disappointed. They don't click and they don't watch. And then YouTube is less likely to push it because all these people that subscribe to you are not watching it.
Yeah, because then it becomes an uphill battle to get views, right?
Yeah.
The views that you want.
And if I post clips on this, they'll come over if they like it. It's tough. But I've talked to multiple creators and some of them said, yeah, makes sense. Start a new one again. And so my old channel, the Leon Hendricks channel, is just for whenever I want to put out a vlog or some announcement or something. Just like, hey, it's me. It's just me. This is the driven show. And I also think about maybe renaming it from a podcast to
the show. Yeah.
Because podcast, people immediately think, oh, who are you interviewing?
Totally.
Who's your next guest? It's like, no, it's like when somebody says, oh, I'm a YouTuber, and they think, oh, you're like one of those guys who's like, hey guys,
Logan Paul, like
subscribe. It's like, no, that's vlogging. That's how YouTube came on the map.
Yeah.
But YouTube has everything now.
Yeah.
And same thing with podcasts. Podcasts shouldn't be just interviews and like random conversations. It could be a mini show. It could be, prepared topics. It could be almost be put together like a documentary, which we're not doing, but could be. So these are the recent developments. That's what I'm thinking of.
Interesting.
And that story of the ODad channel just triggered that in me again, where I was like, man, this guy just had this massive spike, and that's it.
I mean, maybe that's enough.
He gets more views. Yeah. He's happy. He's happy with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think it's great. But
I just think it's so, like, this idea is so interesting. The fact that, like, everyone who doesn't do YouTube is like, oh man, or like they're trying to do YouTube, or they're wanting to do YouTube, or they're like on like in the very early stages. They're all like, man, how do I get more views? How do I get more subscribers?
Yeah.
And I think it's just so funny, man, because I mean, we have there's another YouTuber who I've told you about who he's got a smaller channel than me. His videos get like a couple hundred views per video, and he makes $1 million a year off his channel.
Yeah. But even that money, I don't really.
No. What I'm saying is like people think they want one thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I mean, people do YouTube for all different types of reasons, but
yeah. With this new channel.
Well, here, let me back up. Let me challenge you a little bit, because My First Million, who I think is a good analog for you.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it another podcast?
Yeah. They didn't start the way that they are now.
Mm-hmm.
It evolved a lot.
Yeah.
So what the show is now is very different from what the show was in the beginning.
It's not that different. It's the same target audience. It's co-hosts.
It wasn't a co-host in the beginning. It was just Sean.
Yeah, but even that, it's just one person. It's not like he interviewed a bunch of people and then like. I just don't think what we talked about today is that interesting to 50,000 people who subscribed because of Chase Hughes.
Maybe.
Yeah. I think in the long run, it doesn't make much difference. In the short run, it'll motivate me more.
Okay.
I would much rather have like this clean channel where it's like, this is what we're doing. We have 1,000 subscribers and we get, some of them are watching every episode and it slowly grows.
Yeah.
And like 50,000 subscribers, but I have like 1,000 views on the episode. And it's like, and people are commenting like,
if you feel like it's the right move and you're clear, then
yeah,
cool, man. More power to you.
Yeah. Nothing worse than going viral with content that you're not going to continue making.
Yeah.
That literally traps so many people in businesses that they don't want to do either.
Yeah.
Right? Like a mutual friend of ours who just exited his agency, who was like, oh man, we're so close to making 100K a month, but he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And so he made the tough decision to exit the agency and get bought out by his co-founder. I think it's the right move.
Yeah. I mean, doing a business that you don't want to do is not it.
Yeah. Well, we're pretty privileged in that we're doing what we love, and that's the pod. Thanks for watching. Stay driven. I'm gonna go and sue my dentist now.
Peace.